Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. And today we have an extra packed episode for you. We have three ladder decks for you to try out, including a Bruce Banner deck as we do our last chance review of him. We have a giveaway winner, and we have three decks for high voltage. We're going to kick today off with my favorite ladder deck of the day. This is Roram Plays Imagine Dragons. This list is incredibly cool. It's great to see all these different little packages in one deck. This deck runs a Black Knight package. You can run Sif as the combination to get ideally a 420 into play, but you also have the last turn play, thanks to Luna Snow, of being able to go Ajax and Hazmat just on the last turn of the game. You can do that with or without Luke Cage. If you do that without Luke Cage, your Ajax is often like 20 power. If you do it with Luke Cage, you end up with a 12, 14 power Ajax. Either way, that's some of the biggest cards in the game. You have Death Strike to take care of the low stuff that sort of gives you trouble. You have US Agent to really bring opponents down to size. This deck is a thing of beauty. A thing of beauty that you can find where I'm playing it, twitch.tv/Roram Plays. You do need Black Knight for this list. Black Knight is an incredibly important card, obviously, if you're going to play a Black Knight deck. US Agent, however, is important for a very different reason. Most levels of the ladder still have an awful lot of Doom 2099, and as such, US Agent is one of the best ways to answer that card. Outside of that, you also have Lady Deathstrike, as you want a two-pronged attack in order to take that out. If you are missing Ajax, you can run Ronin instead. It's worse, but that's what replacements are. If you are taking Ronin instead of Ajax, you should also make Hazmat Maximus or Master Mold. You can also replace Luke Cage at that point with one of those two cards. If you lack Lady Deathstrike, you are significantly worse into that Doom matchup, but you can run Vision or whatever a 5 you would like there. A Claw is always a good shout. And Luna Snow can be Hope Summers. That's really the only replacement. Luna has found a decent home with Ajax in this case because she allows you to do the last turn surprise Ajax. All of a sudden, you just have a million power when you go Hazmat into Ajax. With this deck, Roram has gone 21 and 14 with a plus 46 cubes, which is well over 1 cube average, and Roram is in the top 20 of the Infinite leaderboard currently, so he's one of the best players in the game. Turn 1, you want Black Knight, or you can play Blade if you have Infinite or Magneto. Turn 2, you want a turn 1 play over US Agent. Turn 3, Luna is generally speaking better than Sif. You can drop Sif if you've got the right target. If you've got Black Knight out, you're going to take Sif, right? If you've got Ghost Rider in hand, you're going to take Sif as long as it's Infinite. If it's Magneto, you will often end up holding that out and just go Luna first because Magneto's a really, really good play on turn 5. However, you can also Luna skip 4 and then just go Infinite as you choose. Turn 4 is, generally speaking, again, Luna or Sif, or at this point you can drop Ghost Rider. Sometimes, if you got Luna out and they played Doom as a turn early, you'll Lady Deathstrike. Turn 5 is Lady Deathstrike if they doomed. If they doom on 4, you Lady Deathstrike, you kill the Doom, we move on with life. You can also drop Magneto, or you can do further discard stuff with Rider or Shard, and Blade, generally speaking, and you can get that going as well. Also, if you have 7 energy, you can always drop Ajax in one lane and US Agent in another. You generally prefer, however, to hold Ajax to turn 6 if you have Luna at all. So you can go Ajax and Hazmat, or you can go Ghost Rider and Luke, or some combination similar to that, which puts out a ton of power. We're going to look at the Cook after this, but not the Cook you're thinking of. One of our other friends has of a Cook that's perfect for Conquest, and Infinite Conquest Week is coming up, so I wanted to make sure to feature a deck that you could use in that mode. But first, this deck is a thing of beauty from Roram. Black Knight has not been in the meta in quite a while, and this is a wonderful, wonderful way to bring it back, especially if you like and miss that card, if it's one of the Series 5 cards you have access to. Yes, Luna Snow is a card not many have, but Hope Summers does enough of the same job here, if being more predictable, that you should still be okay. Before we get to the next deck, if you're willing to hit that sub button as we try to hit 25,000 subs by next year, it would mean a lot to us. We're aiming for 25,000 subs by the end of 2025, so we need every bit of support we can get. If you're willing to hit that button, it would mean a lot to us. It can also help you win an Iron Patriot season pass. We're giving away 5 Iron Patriots this week. All you have to do is hit that sub button, hit that like, and then later this video, I'm going to tell you what comment to make. You make that comment, you are all of a sudden entered to win Iron Patriot. It also, yes, people keep asking, does seem like Dakin. As far as we know, it has not been officially announced. It seems like Dakin will be in the season pass, as in will get a free Dakin. Um, in the season pass if you buy the season pass as just like completing your season pass, which would be really really cool. And the first time they've ever had a non-series, uh, a series 4 or 5 card as one of the extra cards in season pass. It's a really really great idea to do stuff like that to help promote more people to buy the season pass, which is the best value in the game. Interrobang has the other cook. He calls this his version of the cook. He got like 6 infinity borders with a version of this. He since updated it to this. This is a list that has a lot of smaller synergies that you're not immediately going to see. Um, but it just does an amazing, amazing job of getting stuff out. Anti-Venom and Luke have an absolute ton of synergy, often game-winning synergy, right? So you can do Anti-Venom Luke nonsense. That works really, really well with Blink. If you get a zero cost card that you don't want, you can blink it off, which is likely to get you a Hella Doom, Odin, Gore type card. Yeah? You can also get multiple copies of cards that you want in play with Jubilee and Grandmaster. You can Corvus things off so that you can get a Doom out and then Odin that Doom 5 and 6 without any real trouble. There's a million little plays like that. This deck is really, really cool. It can be inconsistent, and thus it is better, in my opinion, in Conquest than on Ladder. But if you're looking for something to take into Infinite Conquest, coming again at Reset on Tuesday, so 2 days away, um, December 31st, New Year's Eve, Infinite Conquest will open. This is a great deck for you. And hey, it's not a bad ladder deck. I just think it's better in Conquest. You can find Interrobang at twitch.tv/Interrobang with an E at the end because the other version was taken. You should go check out my friend. This deck needs Corvus, Anti-Venom, and Blink, so 3 cards. It's also worth noting if you don't have Corvus, there's a $100 bundle, supposedly, data mined, no guarantees, coming in January. That's $100 for some decent value. It also comes with Corvus and Scorn. So if you're looking for those 2 cards, you have that. There's also a gold anti-venom bundle coming in in February, which is like the best bundle they've ever done for gold. So we'll see if that one actually happens. But that is data mined as well, and Blink is data mined to be in spotlights in February as well. So if you don't have the cards for this deck that are required, do yourself a favor. In the description to the video is the link to the deck. Grab it, you won't be sad. Grandmaster here can be Cable. It can kind of be whatever decent card you want. Grandmaster is not important. It's a good card, but not an amazing card. Gore can be Red Hulk. Nice and simple. Um, Gore is just big. Keyword big. This is an infinite ticket winner. Intero got an infinite ticket with this version of it last week. And then this, again, the previous versions of this won 6 infinity borders. So turn 1 and 2, you pass. There's nothing to do. Turn 3 is Corvus or Luke. If you played Luke, you want to play Jubilee. If you have Blink, or you can play Anti-Venom if you don't have Blink. If you played Corvus, you want to play Blink or Vision. You're perfectly happy to blink off that Corvus. Vision is also just moving 8 power is good. Uh, Turn 5, you want a 6, or you're blinking. Ideally, you're blinking Jubilee. Sometimes you're playing an anti-venom card and blinking it. Sometimes you're just playing an anti-venom card and Luke, whatever. Sometimes you're playing an anti-venom card and Corvus. You get the idea. And then turn 6 is, generally speaking, either Hela or Gore. This can also be a blink turn if you ended up playing something and you've got Hela and you've got a bunch of discard going. Don't be afraid to, at some point around here, if you've got the extra energy and you're not doing anything huge, to Grandmaster off that Corvus to Grandmaster off a Jubilee either. Cool. This deck is really cool, and I hope you give it a try. We're going to look at a very cool Bruce deck, but first we need to our last chance review of Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner is a 2/1, Series 5, 6/7 tokens. When you end a turn with Unspent Energy, you have a 25% chance to Hulk out. Basically, what that means is you have a 25% chance each turn of this becoming Hulk. This card sucks. I like it. I think it's really fun. I've enjoyed it. But if you're at all limited on resources and you're aiming for good things, you should not be getting Bruce Banner. If you are a newer player, if you're earlier in Series 3, you do want Ravonna and High Evolutionary, you can open for them. But if you open for them and you can go, like, do I do more from Bruce? No, no, you don't. There's a possibility this is so freaking bad that they buff it, but that's the only chance that this has to be really worth getting a buff. It is, however, good in High Evolutionary. Jet has this deck he called Evo Test. He is in the top 10 of the Infinite Leaderboard. He's been playing this on Conquest, a little bit on Ladder. Evo is decent. It wins games. This is a really good Evo list. Why is Phoenix Force here? Because Jet plays Phoenix Force. That's just what he does. He plays Phoenix Force in decks. You might notice there is literally no way to use Phoenix Force here. You know what that means? Cut the Phoenix Force, friends. In your version of this list, if you decide to try this, cut the Phoenix Force. Outside of that, though, this is a really strong high evolutionary list that's not too expensive. Um, this does need high evolutionary. Hope can be Luna or Psylocke. Please don't run Phoenix Force. Shang is significantly better, so is Red Guardian. Bruce can also be Red Guardian or Shock. You don't actually need Bruce. Bruce is good in high evolutionary. High evolutionary just needs more power. So, Jet is rank 8, and this is a 10 card deck fundamentally because Phoenix Force isn't a real card here, and like we can pretend Bruce is a real card, but it's really not in this list. Like it's fine, right? Like it makes the list I guess a little better, but this is ultimately Jet being a monster and winning with a 10 card list, but it is worth knowing that Evo still exists. Turn 1 you want to get a 1 out. It doesn't really matter which one, but you do prioritize Quinjet if you have Moon Girl, you prioritize Sunspot if you have She-Hulk. Turn 2 you want a 1 or Bruce. Turn 3 is Bruce, Magic or Hope, and now you're just going to do the same thing turn 3 and turn 4. Um, you will Moon Girl on Hope on turn 4 if you have access to the double She-Hulk thing. Otherwise, you're really trying to get that magic out for this. Um, turn 5 is the same thing, right? You're Moon Girling on Hope, and then you're trying to pass 6 into Hulk and She-Hulk, which is the goal. Um, yeah, turn 6 you either pass or you, if you can, you play Hulk and She-Hulk. If you can get two She-Hulks on 4 pass 5 and then you don't play Hulk and you play two She-Hulks and like a Cyclops, you're totally fine. If you end up going with the pass and you can get She-Hulk and Hulk, you basically win. If you can get double She-Hulk and Hulk, you hopefully have snapped. It's really simple how effective this list is, and I urge you to give it a try. I think you're going to be happy with it. We've still got bundle guides and stuff, but we're going to look at some voltage decks as well after this. Please note, this deck is absolutely sick. I think that this is really fun, really powerful, and I also think Jet is clearly on another level, literally winning games of Marvel Snap with what amounts to a 10 card list. Season pass question. We did a big video. They didn't announce or tell anybody, because why would they, that Eliath is going to be banned this time in High Voltage. How do you feel about that Eliath ban? I think I'm ultimately pro. They're going to have to end up getting rid of Gambit. I think Gambit's probably too strong for the mode. But how do you feel about the Eliath ban overall? We also have a giveaway winner of our last Galactus Season Pass, the Filipino user. Please reach out through various social media in order to claim your Season Pass. Also, we're streaming. We streamed 90 hours last month at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. We're also streaming here reasonably often on YouTube now, so make sure you keep an eye out for that stream if you have any interest in hanging out. I should be streaming later today, but got to take my wife to get the new car because I ended up streaming all day yesterday. So we'll see if that works out, but we'll definitely be streaming very soon for you. Hey, this is where the stream is. Cool. All right. Our first high voltage deck is the one I made myself on stream. This I called high voltage, 5 high voltage. It is really strong. It is an ongoing tribunal list that fundamentally abuses Kang. How does it abuse Kang, you may be asking? Well, Kang tells you what you're getting from Iron Lad and Jubilee, and there's not really retreats, right? So you're not going to win every game. But knowing what you're getting from Iron Lad or Jubilee is extremely strong with Kang. It's also, if you draw it right on turn 2 or 3 and you play it, um, and you're reasonably likely to, you not only get to know what the opponent's doing, you get to draw an extra card. That drawing an extra card is obviously really important in a deck that's trying to combo off. This is the best Kang has ever felt, hence him being in the thumbnail. I absolutely love this list. Is this the best voltage list? I don't know. I don't really care. Voltage wins matter a little less. I had a 58% win rate with it in a lot of games and had an absolute freaking blast playing it. So you should be able to play this. The only high series cards you need here are Tribunal and Ms. Marvel. Wiccan, Hulkling, Lad, and Kang are all nice cards. Wiccan is here just because if you can Wiccan on turn 1, it's amazing and you win, basically. If you can't Wiccan on turn 1, you don't play Wiccan. Uh, Iron Lad is a consistent piece. Iron Lad is the closest thing to an important piece here. Hulkling is here because sometimes it's Tribunal or Onslaught, and once in a while you get lucky with like an Ultron. By the way, Ultron could be fine in this list. Iron Lad, sorry, we talked about that, and we talked about why Kang is here. Super Skrull, Morph, Omega Red, Ravonna, Psylocke. These are all perfectly acceptable replacements. There is a play pattern where you go Mystique into Onslaught into, sorry, Ms. Marvel into Onslaught into Mystique, and if you can get that combination going, then all of a sudden Ms. Marvel's putting a billion power in both lanes, and it's worth it. But outside of that, you're not really, outside of that, like that play pattern is sort of why you need Ms. Marvel. It gives enough power to make the Iron Man stuff work. But outside of that, you should be fine with just Tribunal and Ms. Marvel as your high series cards. If you'd like to see gameplay for all these decks, please do check out the stream team. Today is Sunday, so Obihaved will be streaming at 1 p.m. Eastern, streaming all these lists. Next up, we have our friend. We're going to look at one more list for me. Our friend Skosko. It is Scott Denham of SnapFan. He is the head writer over at SnapFan, and he came up with this really, really cool Galactic Gwenpool Wiccan list. This list basically really, really, really wants you to have 4 energy on the first turn of the game. If you can get that 4 energy on the first turn of the game, you're so far ahead with Galactic Gwenpool or Wiccan that you should be in great shape. You can also end up just playing like a Zemo or a Mirage or whatever and getting a reasonably powerful card, and then you can Wiccan on turn 2, and you just sort of go off from there. Shang-Chi is a killer here, Negasonic is a killer, and Juggernaut is one of the best cards in this mode. Red Guardian killing all the Wongs and everything. I love this list. I'm very excited. The next time I stream, Obi will be streaming this, but the next time I stream, this is the list I plan to play. I didn't play a lot of it because I had a very specific bounty. You can find Scott outside of on SnapFan on Twitter at twitter.com/ScoDenim. This deck needs Galactan Wiccan. Hydra Bob can be Titania. Um, Gore can be Magneto, Leader, or Hulkling. Red Guardian can be Enchantress, and Gwenpool can be Captain Marvel. Let's talk the Web Shredder bundle. 101% progress value means that this is the same thing as just buying freaking credits in the shop. You're spending 2,000 gold as if you were just buying credits in the shop, and you get a Spider Woman variant and a Snowflake Brew card border. That's a terrible deal. We can do much better with our gold. We can get Series 4 and 5 cards with our gold. Please do not buy this bundle. It is utter junk. I wish I had reviewed it sooner. Sorry, I had it in my head, dismissed it as so terrible that no one should buy it, and then I saw people buying it, and I was like, oh no. So that's why we're covering it here. Please do not buy this bundle. This, however, if you've got $100 to blow, is an amazing bundle. Not only do you get a Series 5 card, you get 10,000 collector's tokens and 2,400 gold. That's like most of the way on to getting like 2 Series 6 cards. If you don't have White Widow, that's 3 Series 6, sorry, Series 5 cards. If you don't have White Widow, that's 3 Series 5 cards. That's amazing value. This bundle is a stellar buy. There is that 4,500 gold anti-venom bundle coming in February. This basically says as long as you complete your weekend missions, you'll have enough gold for that, which will also end up getting you the rest of the way to another Series 5 card. If you are trying to catch up in collection level, please do grab this bundle. It is worth noting that White Widow isn't great, but if you do check Friday's video, I have a very strong White Widow deck for you. She's not in many decks, but that one deck she is very good in. So if that's something you're looking for, please do check that out. 225% progress value is through the roof. 170 is average. 200 is very good and worth buying. And 225 is just stellar value. This is the top line of value that they ever give us. So if you've got $100, you're probably not going to do much better than this. Next up, we have Disco Voltage. I went 14 and 7 with 2 versions of this. I've been playing this on ladder. I'm around rank 72 now. I think I might be 60. I've been bouncing up and down. I didn't play a ton of ladder. I ended up playing a bunch of voltage today. So I ended up taking out Proxima from this list for Wong because Wong into discard cards is really strong. Particularly either multi-discarding Scorn or getting double Gambit is game winning. This is a very cool list. I absolutely love it, and I urge you to give it a try. I was crushing in voltage. I don't know what 14 and 7 is, but someone in comments can tell me what that win rate percentage is. This deck felt very cool, very strong. Everyone kept being like, can I play this in voltage? Yes, you can. This is a perfectly powerful deck. We featured it in yesterday's video that had like 15 voltage decks. So if you want to check it out, please do so. Hey, that's me. Please sub youtube.com/@snapjudgmentspod. This deck needs two cards, Modok and Scorn. If you have Modok and Scorn, you can play it. You can probably play it without Scorn and instead run Swarm, and then you want to run Collector. But that list is way, way, way worse. Scorn is incredibly strong in this list. Grandmaster and Malekith are totally replaceable. Lady Sif, Mystique, Moon Knight, Proxima, all fine. You can even add a Fenris Wolf if you're adding the Moon Knight version, if you're going with the Moon Knight version of this. Questions of the day. Our first question is from Foucault, who asks what I think of the Rivals crossover. I think they didn't do enough for it. I think a few variants that are going to be hard to get and spotlight cards are really rough. They probably should have done something for earlier series or Series 3 early players if they want to try and get some people who are into Rivals playing this game. I think they viewed it instead of um, Rivals promoting them is them promoting Rivals, which I think is a missed opportunity. It should have been a co-promotion, and not doing that, I think, was a mistake. Ultimately, I don't really like Rivals. I haven't played it. It's not my type of game. And I tried to watch a stream when I was out at Brooklyn, and I found it very boring. It was people jumping in little circles going pew, pew, pew. I talked more about this on the podcast. It is very not for me. If you like it, please love it, enjoy it, be happy. But it's not my thing. HXGXC asks what I think of Eminem. Um, and then guess what I think of the most recent album, which I didn't listen to. So I had a mixtape around my junior or senior in high school, 98, 99. I don't remember if it was junior, senior for perfectly, but I graduated in 99. I feel like I got the mixtape in 98 that had a lot of the original um, what ended up being the Slim Shady LP as like mixtape stuff, and I was in love with Eminem. And as a kid, I really, really loved Eminem. And then he blew up to an ungodly level, partially because he's incredibly talented, but also extremely partially because he's white and thus was played on things like K Rock. And if you're from New York, you know what that means. Um, like he shouldn't be played on alternative rock stations, except he's a white dude, so he got to, which is again like obnoxious, right? Um, so I really, really liked him. And then, like, even though he was too big and I would no longer consider myself a big fan, I still liked and respected him. He came back as like a 40-year-old and was still doing songs about domestic abuse, where, um, okay, how do I put this? Where as a young man, a person who's in a tumultuous situation, he was speaking his truth. As an older adult, I wish he wasn't glorifying it. I wish it was more of a condemnation of that type of relationship. I feel like there should have been more growth. He seems like a good person, but when that was his comeback, I could no longer really feel the same way about him, and I no longer count myself someone who really pays any attention to him. White Wayne Brady wants to know how I feel about M&Ms, given that Eminem was asked about. So I think regular chocolate M&Ms are absolutely disgusting. Like they're just the sweetest thing in the world. Peanut M&Ms are fine. They're solid. They're an okay snack. Peanut butter M&Ms are chef's kiss. Although at that point, why not just get Reese's Pieces? A reminder for any of you who are in your Series 3 journey, on stream, I often build Series 3 players' decks. There's a spot on my Discord for you to submit your collection if you are so inclined. You can find the Discord in the description to this video if you would like to submit your uh, cards so that I can build you usually about 5 decks and then suggest what you should be doing with your spotlights and cards you should be targeting going forward. Certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. If you're interested in our Patreon, please do check out patreon.com/snapjudgments. It is very cheap to offer us some support, and it lets us do so much of what we do to support the community. We'd like to say thank you to Abigail Giesland, Mandatory Burnout, It Regardless, David G. Wingfield, Dirty Casual, Danton, Always Kind, LAB, FaThorNewman. Check him out on YouTube and Twitch, please. Good Dog Gamer, who just won a mystery variant. Ink, I am Frostman, Jet Nolly, YOLO Potato, thanks for hanging out on stream today. Thinking Poker, Primed Ryan, Ryan Burke, and Ryan Wood, the Ryans. Please check out the Prime Mind app if you're so inclined. Ryan has that app and it's awesome. The King of Questions, Kirtixley, Koi Ray, coming all the way from Japan. Kazushi! Koi Ray's coming all the way from Japan. I have no idea where Kazushi lives, but thanks for hanging out on stream, Kazushi. Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Peripherals, The Goat Seeker. What's up, Goatsy? Hallowed, Quid, Pro, Joe! Snap Decisions, Joe. We were on Snap Decisions podcast. The audio version is out. Ratnick, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables. Thanks for hanging, Cables. Thanks for the gifted. Appreciate you, my friend. Ginger Prime, hey Ginger. Racco, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone. Rob Silverman, The Bizza. Black Debus 23. XRC and Skippy G, Rhyming Friends. Hey Jess, hopefully you had a good holiday, Jess. I moved Jess and Skippy next to each other because it made me happy. The winners, Not Just League Season 1, Tommy Nyquist, the King of Bros, bruh. Thanks for hanging. The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, as always, a pleasure. Kev, Sihora, Lunar Chris, Luna, Kioran, John Q, and Jimmy Q. Q down. Clam, Colonel, Forbin, you stout. 8th, Sage, Models, Mod Supreme, the Green Goblin, the best Osborne of all. Unibot, thanks for hanging. Flan56, Steven, Brian Kaufman. Brian, you need to DM me, my friend. Tristan H. Martin, Jason B, J.D. McDonaldinho, The Fuzznot, Spectrumix, Hoot, Matt H, DJ, Mikey Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Ocularis, Mr. Craig Sterry, BG, Zodrex, the King of Canada. Check him out on YouTube and Twitch. Den Man Falcon, who's now on YouTube and Twitch too. Jonesy, Two Ties, the Great Lauren Evs, the Pirate King Tuccrr, and of course Gunny T, where the T stands for I'm really enjoying high voltage. I hope you are too. Um, I'm gonna take a moment of privilege at the end of this video. A bunch of people yesterday yelled at me because the decks had Eliath. Like I'm supposed to tell the future and know that Eliath was going to be banned. But also, you might notice this on the channel. We do card replacements, so you never have to worry about that kind of thing. All you have to do is literally look at the deck and then wait 10 seconds, and there's going to be a card replacement. Chill. Snap Judgments always has you covered. We'll see you tomorrow for another Snap Take. Peace.